What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are doing wonderful out there. Hey, I want to kind of give you some advice, and very clearly, the advice I do give you, some of the things I do share, it's based on several factors, mainly being my own personal experience, also things that I've learned, I've learned along the way, and then also experiences from others. There is a group of guys, and there's a small little group of ladies within that group that share their experiences with me. Um, some smaller amount of people actually on a personal basis, one-on-one, face-to-face. Some in group chat rooms. Some on social media, and some that have but they've all experienced the same thing, and it's life after divorce and picking up the pieces. Um, that's where I kind of get some of these video ideas from, and some of the things that I want to talk to you about. So today I want to focus on staying consistent, being consistent with your kindness, and being genuine in your approach. Again, let me say that very clearly. Be consistent in your kindness and be genuine in your approach. So why is that really important? So the very first year for myself was really tough. It was really tough. It's still tough today. And I'm going to say I'm getting to like fifth year of after divorce. Things are getting better and better because I wanted them to. But trust me, there's a lot of other factors that could have sucked me back into just having a really tough life. But I've wanted, and I've pushed, and I've worked my butt off, 2 and sometimes 3 jobs. And right now it's 2, but I worked my butt off to try to just make things a little bit better for me. So what that is getting back to my train of thought. That first year was tough, man. It was really, really tough. And it was a lot of errors and failures that I had along the way, and kind of learning from them. Never wanting to make the same mistake twice, and just not understanding fully. So reaching out for help myself, and with the counselor, actually a couple different counselors, just from moving from one state to the next, and also just talking to other guys that have just shared their wisdom of being through the trenches of life through divorce, after divorce, and the goods and the bads and the uglies. So when I noticed that I was more consistent in being genuinely kind to my ex-wife during those transactions on the weekends, and I mean transactions like exchanging our children. You kind of have a little bit of a transaction with that person. So your children are your heart, your blood, your love. But this person is a completely different person now. You almost don't even know who they are, and you have to do a transaction with them, and it has to be very strategic. And that's why I use that word transaction with them. So, with that said, the the times that I noticed that I was consistent, and I started to learn this just through failures, and wanting the desire to want my daughter and your child to see the greatness in you, the desire to see the greatness in you, because you're the ex or the other person they don't want you to be great in their eyes. They want the child to see them as the greatest person ever. Now, from my perspective, I want my child, and I teach her and I feed in her mind that her mom is great, and I also feed in her that I am great, and so that she is greatness. And so I try to be equal and fair on both sides. I never want to kind of paint this different picture of her mom, because that's a person that she loves and she cares about. So I encourage you to do the same thing. Some of you, have different stories than me, and mine was just as bad too. It's still kind of difficult right now, but it's gotten a lot better. And why has it gotten better? Every time she was devilish to me, every time she was just a bitch to me, and just horrible, I stayed consistent in my genuine kindness to her, face to face, because she was standing right there. It was my daughter. She was standing right there, looking at me, and she will feed off those things. They will see those things. You see children in the sand pit, and they're playing in the park and whatnot, and something kind of goes off over there that's different in the park, and they're looking, and all the kids turn their heads, and they're just kind of like, what is that? They're absorbing things that are around them. They're playing, they're in their world, but they are seeing other things, and they're reacting to it, and they're absorbing what's happening over there. So it's very important that you understand that although our children in this kind of this different mindset, they're right next to us when we're interacting with with the ex. They're right next to us when we're in court. They're right next to us when we're going through those difficult times. And when going through those difficult times, or that difficult space, or that difficult moment, you have to be consistent in your genuine kindness, even through difficult times, because you're teaching them that. You're teaching them that. We don't want to inflict this tension, this short-temperedness, and things of that nature. We all get it. Life is stressful, and it's a divorce, and most definitely it's going to get you to that point where you like almost can't breathe and you're suffocating, and it's difficult. It is. It's easier said from me right now than done, but I've done it, guys. I've done it myself. It is difficult, and you will fail, but because you're aware of this now, you're gonna stay consistent. She would be guys, I would be in this car, for example, and the window, I would pull the window down, because this was like my safety net. After a few pickups, this was like where I would be safe, and her hand would just come at me like real fast, like she was gonna hit me, wanting to get a reaction from me, and hoping that I would react back, right? And that was, that happened several times, like flinching in front of my face, a hand in my face, pretending that they're gonna punch you, literally putting the fist like right there and not hitting you. And mind you, guys, this is a very, very well-to-do, high-profile doctor, that you would never think in a million years, even the people that they look up to in white coats and white suits, that they would never be this way. This person was this way to me, and a lot of other things kind of happened, but when they did that, when she did that, I was just okay. And my daughter's right here, right behind me, seeing this, saying things to me, taunting me to want to do something, and I would just say, I'm going to pray for you. I wish you the peace. It's going to be okay. We'll get through this. I know you're hurting too. I know you're angry, but you've taken all that you can from me, and you're just not going to take my peace. But I wish you peace. You're going to be okay. A lot of things I've said. Here's some of the other things I've said. I was watching you right now. You're teaching her how to be like that. You don't need to teach her that. You're better than this. You're a better person than that. Teach her how to be the best person that she could be. Things of that nature, I would say to her, when she would she would go just outrageously like off the. I don't want to give too much personal scenarios, but there was times where I would say this. I would say, it's not about you and your wants right now, this very second. It's about this little girl that you just started to make to cry, and now we need to focus on her. And I'm disappointed in you. You made your child cry. And I would get down and close the world off on her, and it was 100% attention to my daughter. I remember on a pickup at one time, I had to stay with my daughter for an hour and a half, right there in between the two cars, because she was so hurt by the way her mom was acting. She was so hurt, and everything that came out of me was love, caring. I tried to get her mind off it, laugh with her. We joked, we were playing silly, we were playing tag. We had a whole different world. I had her in a whole different world, right in the transaction between our cars. By the time she left, I mean, she had, they're not going to completely forget about it because you affect them, but she was feeling great. She was feeling wonderful. Those are the things that we want to leave our children with: smiles and laughter. And you need to be consistent in being kind, genuine, and loving, even to those that hate you and are angry at you, even to those that have done you wrong and hurt you and still today hurt you. Because having built up anger inside you is poison settling within. And who senses those things? Who has the most heightened senses and absorbs that is our children. It's so important, guys. If there's anything that you take away from any of my videos, if you never watch any of these videos, if you don't ever subscribe, that's fine. If you hate my advice or any of my words, if there's one thing that you can take away, is this: be kind to those that hate you and that are doing you wrong. Be kind, because you're feeding yourself life when you do that. Be consistent in being kind and loving, because others around you are absorbing that. And that's giving you healthier life when you are consistently positive. And be genuine in your approach. Don't just be fake about it. Don't just be fake. Be genuine. Mean it from the heart. And I tell my ex-wife this today. At the worst of times, and even right now when it is getting a little bit better, I still say these same words to her today. I don't say it all the time, but I say this: I love you. Thank you so much for giving me this gift of life. I am so grateful, and I will always love you for the person that you are. You're an incredible mom. You're a good mom, and I'm a great dad too. Don't sell me out. You know, she is growing, and she wants both of us. So let's give her the best of both of us. I encourage you to be the best person that you can be. Please encourage me. Let's not tear each other down, because when we're tearing each other down, we're tearing her down, because it hurts her. We're hurting her mom. We're hurting her daddy. And she doesn't want to see that. A child never wants to see their parents hurt, especially if they love them so much. So those things I've said to her to her face. I'm saying it to you. It is true, believe me or not, but be genuine in your approach. Guys, girls, please love and respect all people and all things. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe. Please like the video. If you liked it, share it with somebody that could really use it. Genuine in your approach. Be genuine. Practice it. You can do it. Take care. Bye-bye.